Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk about a Supreme Court case that just came out that is going to be very helpful for anybody essentially who has been deported because of drug-related charges. Okay, um, let me just give you the basic facts of this case that just came out. This guy came to the United States when he was 3 or 4 years old, stayed here a whole bunch of years, got his bachelor's, his master's, ended up being a professor, and then at one point or another, he was stopped in the car and they found a sock that had 4 orange pills in there. And make the story short, he ended up going to removal proceedings. The immigration judge ordered him removed because of the drug charge, which he pled guilty to. He pled guilty to possession of paraphernalia, and then it went to the Board of Immigration Appeals. They agreed with the immigration judge, and they said that's the deportable offense, and he should be removed. And then it went up to the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals. They agreed with the Board of Immigration Appeals, and ultimately it went up to the United States Supreme Court, who looked at it and said, nope, this is not a removable crime, and reversed the Eighth Circuit, which ultimately reversed the BIA, which ultimately reversed the immigration judge. So the question is, why was it reversed, and why is it not a deportable crime? Well, this particular crime occurred in Kansas, and there is a thing called, or a procedure, whenever there's a crime, which I always go through. It's called categorical analysis. And categorical analysis is essentially when you look at the crime at the state level and you see if it fits within the crime, the immigration defined crime at the federal level. And if it fits within and there's no difference, then of course the person's removable. But if there is a part of the state crime which one could commit which doesn't make them removable under the federal statute, well then that means that it is going to not be removable. Okay? So in this particular case, the first of all, the paraphernalia, when defined federally, has nothing to do with a sock. Okay, it's how something's built or made, or kept, keeps the drugs and so forth, or uses it. No, not one word about a sock. So that's the first thing. Secondly, the drugs themselves, it was undefined. It was later through testimony determined to be Adderall, but the conviction itself didn't have what kind of drugs it was. And under federal law, in order to be removable under the possession of the drug offense, there needs to be a drug as defined in Section 802 of the Federal Code. And it turns out that this was not in there. Okay? And so because it wasn't in there, and because the paraphernalia was a sock and it was not defined, that the fact that this was a conviction in Kansas state law, but it turns out it did not could not be a conviction under federal law when applying the immigration definition of how it looks for whether or not a drug offense has been committed or not. It turns out that this person should not have been removed. It's not even a removable offense. It's not that he could have fought or not fought. It's period not a removable offense. So he's already been deported. So obviously they're going to have to give him his green card back and allow him back in the country and say sorry, and he'll get his status going again. But just to note that this is a great Supreme Court case, and it just shows you that sometimes you have to fight a few battles all the way up to try to resolve your situation and to try to win. And sometimes that's what it takes. But it is an analysis of each crime. That's why when someone comes to me and they committed a crime, they go, and they want me to tell them in 2 seconds, Am I removable or not? I can't do that. I have to look at the statute, do the categorical analysis, look at the federal defined removability statutes, then pull in the statutes that it references, and then do the analysis to see what is and is not included. So if you have a crime and you are in removal proceedings, it is possible to fight it on more than one ground, okay? And it is possible to argue that you may not be removable because of it once the categorical analysis is defined and analyzed. Okay, so if you like the video, click like, subscribe. I usually do videos once a week, and you're free to call my office. The initial consultation's free, and from there, let you know what can be done. Okay, more on the coming videos.